Can I just say a huge thank you to Point Click Vibes, who very, very kindly sent me on the information, the pictures for this. This is something new coming to Makeup by Mario. And I gotta say, when I saw this initially, I was like, this looks a lot like Skin by Kim. You know, that new palette that she came out with. I will say this leans a little bit more cool toned, and this is coming out in the next couple of days, so the 7th of March, and it's going to be $50. Let's discuss. This is the Master Mattes, the Neutrals palette, and it's a 12 pan eyeshadow palette that is all neutrals. There's not a single shimmer in there. However, it is all very cool toned, which I think is quite interesting. I actually kind of understand why he's coming out with an all matte palette, because as an MUA, you want to have some really dependable mattes that are easy to blend, easy to work with, and you can't go too far wrong with a neutral. And I do feel like this will work really well with his existing palette, the Ethereal, which I know came back briefly and is available on Sephora right now. I love the inclusion of the black and the grey. Do I necessarily need this? I mean, not really. I mean, I get that everyone is saying that we're going back into the 90s with the whole cool tones, grunges, etc. And I am totally here for that. I think that's a really, really cool, interesting aesthetic. But hear me out. I don't think we necessarily need another neutral palette. I'm sure this is fantastic quality, and if you haven't gotten a neutral palette before, this may be the one to get. But what I would really enjoy seeing might be some of those colours as lipsticks. I like that is more 90s to me. I do feel though this fits with Mario's brand in general. Like, this is going to be a really good go-to palette, sort of like a one and done, which I think is very, very handy. Again, it's not very fussy in terms of its packaging. It looks like it'll be easy to transport. This is very much made with makeup artistry in mind. I don't know if I would personally pay $50 for 12 mattes. I'm just saying, I have a crazy collection that I've been going through at the weekend because I'm sorting my room at the moment. But for me, I have a lot. So I'm like, oh, I don't really need this. But again, I suppose if you're the sort of person that goes, oh, I only want 2 or 3 palettes in my collection, this might be a very, very good neutral to have. It does all look like they're powders, so it doesn't look like there's any like slightly different formulas. I kind of feel like at this point in the game, when you're a brand, you kind of need to have a couple of different formulas going on. Like, you know, do you have creams? Do you have powders? Do you have cream to powder? Do you have shimmers, etc.? Powder, like a matte, just feels a little bit like, oh, okay. It's fine. Like, I'm not being mean or critical about it. I think this definitely has a place. It's just not for me. It doesn't have a place in my collection. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this is interesting? Can you see where this merits a place in the makeup community? Let me know.